right, welcome back to the channel. Let's do this live stream this fine morning. Hope everything is well. We're going to talk about a variety of situations in the boxing world. What's going on, Adrian Vint in the building? Wolf Fire, salute, says salute and good morning, Martin. Salute and good morning to you, sir. Robert Galloway said TBC. What is TBC? But I'll appreciate, hey man, I should appreciate the comment. My man, Smooth Groove Boxing in that super chat. Much love in that super chat. He says, salute family. As always, it's a pleasure being here. Yeah, we're going to talk this boxing this morning, man. Make sure you put your comments and your questions in the comment section, man, because we try to keep this the conversation very interactive. Viva 2 Vita says, salute. So good morning. Salute, Martin, and salute to the chat. Ready for this boxing knowledge. Yes, sir. Alma in the building. What's going? He said, ready to listen. Salute, Fannon. Ready to listen to your boxing talk this beautiful morning in Chicago. Yes, and a prayerful day. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We just ready to talk it. Oh, let's skip forward. Let me say what's up, what's good to everybody in the chat. Adrian Vint in the building, what's good? Wolf Fire in the building. Robert Galloway, what's going on? Smooth Groove Boxing. Viva 2 Vita. Alma Huertas. Salute. Copper Aborigines said, salute brother Martin Blackwell. Fannon International Boxing. Let's get and don't come in without hitting that like button. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do something right here. Bring it up so I can complain about the like button. That's something I like to do. Is complain about the like button. Man, this boxing is going to be wonderful this next month and a half. Yeah, we got 41 people in the building. We got 13 likes. Let's get them likes up if you would not mind. Brian Powell said, hey, my G, this fight will never happen because Bud will still be on Top Rank. I think it can happen on Top Rank, though. I don't think that there's an issue with it being on Top Rank. Top Rank seems like they're the ones that want the fight. I just don't know whether or not it seems like it's taking a bit of time for these guys to come to an agreement on it. I think it's got like another 10 days or something. I think they said it was going to, they had 20 days to decide on it. And that clock is most definitely ticking. Copper Aborigines says, salute from Detroit to the chat boxing family. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Justin Hawkins, salute to you as well. Scant Rats, salute to you. Dev Going, so what's up, Martin? You the man. I am chilling because, oh, you know what? I got a breakthrough on the channel I want to let you guys know about. We've done 25 million views. I got a message sent to me that the day before yesterday, we passed up 25 million views. So I'm feeling a 25 million view type high, feeling good about it. What's going on, Devin Goins? Big Jag in the building. CLT in the building. What's going on, man? Mr. Kandahari Alak, what's happening with you? Salute to you. Abur Rahim, man. What is it? Abur Rahim. Who is it? Sharif Abur Rahim? Was that cat that passed away? I think. Did he pass away or was it somebody else that passed away? Let me see. Mob Cam, salute to you as well. Make the fight in the building. What's going on? Thomas Delamuth says salute. He said they probably wait. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think it's going to first bid. Say, I'm hitting the gong for every congrats on the 25 million views, man. Dude, started this boxing channel as a hobby, man, and to have it be up there and have that many views and that much conversation. Hey, is the volume better? Is the volume better? Hey, Fannon, do you think Devin Haney will fight Rolly Romero? If so, who wins? Man, I don't know, man. Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney beats Rolly Romero for sure. Because I'm not that high on Rolly Romero, man. I think Rolly Romero is just running around looking to really land a big shot on somebody. Now, if Rolly Romero, that's what's up. If Rolly Romero can land a clean punch on Devin Haney, he might be able to change up the fight. But I don't see him doing anything to really do. I don't really see him having the boxing ability to really catch Devin, especially if Devin has, the ability to kind of slip, get on the inside and tie him up. Then I think that it would be, I'm kind of like with what attitude. I think Devin would embarrass Rolly. I think Rolly Romero's got to be one of the most overrated of the fighters that I've seen, man. Like, just to watch him run around and try to just one punch, like, nah, man. I think Haney would fight him. I just don't know if Rolly's going to get the fight done. Okay, Sharif Abdul-Rahim is the president of the NBA G League. Yeah, that's good that it wasn't Sharif. It was somebody else from Memphis that used to really remind me of him that passed away. Another power forward that passed away. Championship rounds. Rolly versus Devin is Floyd versus Maidana. Oh, man, that is an excellent that's an excellent comparison, man. No doubt about it. That hits me at home. That hits home for sure. Uncle Josh said Haney will fight Rolly. The question is, will Rolly fight Haney? Look, is Rolly still at 135? Is he the 135 pound? Because I pay just enough attention to Rolly to know that dude can't fight. Is he the WBA regular champion? Look, we got 75 people in the building. We got 37 likes. Hit that like button as you guys come in. Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought he was at 135. Yeah, man, I just can't get it, man. Devin versus Prolific One said Devin versus Rolly is Mayweather versus Gotti. I don't know. I don't know that, man, because Gotti wasn't as strong as Rolly Romero is. But the difference in the class and the difference in the class of fighters is about the same. Ward made Miranda look silly. Absolutely, he did. I'm not sure where that comes from. Yep, hit that like button. Anthony Modesta said, I don't know if she's at 135, but we're not even sure if he is in the U.S. right now. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Rolly Romero is from the United States. That must be somebody. Yes, Lorenzen Wright. Yes, that's who I was thinking. Because Lorenzen Wright always reminded me of Sharif Abdul-Rahim. And say, yeah, Lorenzen Wright, his wife killed him. Man, that's crazy. Ugh, not the coolest way to go. That man, that's a shame. That's a shame. Give me 1 second. I'm rolling back. What attitude? Haney is too slick and would beat Rolly from the outside with that fast jab. That's exactly how I think that fight would go. I think that it'd be just I think it's a wash for Rolly Romero. The only question that Devin Haney has is that he got rocked by Jorge Linares, but Jorge Linares can pop, but he won the fight. A lot of people focus on the fact that he got hit in that fight. I focus on the fact that he won that fight, and he won that fight handily, and that proves to me that he's a world-class fighter. He's not Devin Haney's not a mirage beating Jorge Linares. A lot of people are acting like he's just kind of this made-up dude. He's not made up, man. Martin, you haven't heard the shit Rolly talk about Devin and Bill? Someone get the link to brother. Dog, of course that I have. Of course I have. I've heard the shit that he talks. He says that dude is like, Rolly Romero says, I pay attention to him. I don't talk about him a lot, but I pay attention to him. He said that he was like the chinniest dude at 140. He said he's the chinniest dude at 147. Man, but Riley Romero talks a lot of shit about everybody, man. So it's kind of like, who does Riley? Only person I don't know Riley Romero to talk shit about is Teofimo Lopez. Other than that, he talks shit about a lot of different people. So kind of with Devin with Riley Romero, with me, it's in one ear, out another ear. Man, Daniel Staley, much love in that super chat, man. Yes, much love in that super chat to Daniel Staley. Thank you, sir. He said, oh, my man, this is no joke, man. TJ Sports Talk said, this is Fannon. Salute Fannon. This is boxing. You're going to get hit, period. Yeah, I think a lot of people, oh, my gosh, man. Let me get to this one in a second. A lot of people underestimate that, man. Everybody's going to get hit in boxing. I mean, it's boxing, and you're not going to sit. The guy is following you around for 12 rounds, slinging shots at you, and he's a professional boxer. He's going to land a glove on you, man. So, but he got hit. He may have got a little wobbled for a second, but he adjusted, and he'll go back and, figure out what he did wrong. But I don't think that he has necessarily has any big chin problems. And we'll see how chinny Riley Romero is when he knocks him out. Now, there's also guys that have been fighters in weight classes where they weren't really dominating people with their punching power, like Mayweather at 140 and Mayweather at 147. He won a lot of fights in those divisions and wasn't getting knockouts. You don't have to get knockouts to be considered a great fighter, or to actually get the wins. Man, Adrian Vint said, champ, who you got, Casemiro or Rigo? Man, I got Rigo, but I got Rigo out of loyalty. I got Rigo out of loyalty, man. The couple things that I don't like about Rick, what happened the last couple fights I saw at Rigondeaux, I did not like how he sat there and traded with that guy. I can't remember the names of the guys that he fought, but he sit there and he traded with I think it was it Seha and somebody else, I can't remember, but he sit there and he traded with him. And Rigondeaux, if you hit Rigondeaux, you can wobble Rigondeaux. So I didn't like how he was sitting there and trading with them. He's going to have to use his legs against Casemiro, because Casemiro is one of these guys that leaps in and he's a strong guy. However he got strong is, that is up for debate. But yeah, but I got Guillermo Rigondeaux on, and I'm riding with Guillermo Rigondeaux till the wheels fall off. That's just kind of how I am with certain fighters. I'm riding with Errol Spence till the wheels fall off. Riding with Deontay Wilder till the wheels fall off. I'm riding with Gary Russell Jr. till the wheels fall off. But I understand why some people could be picking Casemiro in that fight. Casemiro looks like a dope fiend to me, though, man. And I'm talking about steroids. I'm not talking about whatever. He looks like, that dude looks like he's juicing to me, because I don't see how you move up in weight. Like these guys that move up in weight and they get more power as they move up in weight. Like he wasn't this powerful at 150, at 112 or 115, but now all of a sudden he gets up to 118 and he turns into this big bomber, putting and it's all muscle he put on in between those weight classes too. So, we'll see. I'm looking forward to the fight though. That's a fight coming up this weekend that is like, man, that's got a good, because on that undercard for that fight, they also have Gary Antonio Russell is fighting on that, and what's the little dude's name from Cleveland, man? Whose name? Rashid Warren. Rashid Warren is on that card too. So I'm looking forward to that. That's a good little man. That's a good little man deal, man. So my man said Riley is the new Mayorga. Dude, there you go. Looks just like Mayorga too. Said Riley's got the same disease Ryan Garcia got talk shit and got that Ryan got talk shit and hide. Man, that is hilarious. We'll see what he does, man. He does talk a lot of shit though. I've actually been around him in person though, and he seems like a real nice guy. That's just kind of, I think, the shit he does for the camera. But all of that stuff is just kind of overboard to me, man. Prolific One said, do you think Devin should look into a strength and conditioning coach? I don't think that can help. I don't think that it could hurt to do that, but not, if he wants to stay at 135 pounds, he's going to get up there and put more muscle on. I don't really think his strength or his conditioning is a problem with Devin. Honestly, man, I think the only problem Devin Haney has is the access to these guys to fight him. And the WBC kind of screwed him over with that franchise belt, because a lot of the reasons why people aren't fighting him is because that belt doesn't mean anything. They just, the WBC tore down their own belt, gave it to him and tore it down. So, I think that's the biggest problem with Devin. And also that Devin Haney can make you look bad because he's a slip. He's the perfect type of an NBF, no black fighter, right? Because you don't want to have guys that are going to make your fighter look bad, And Devin Haney has the ability to really make somebody look bad in a boxing ring, and they're going to have to They're going to have to hope that they can get to Devin Haney's chin, which is not that easy to get to because the guy has superior defense. He's a better defensive fighter than he is an offensive fighter, but still, defense and ring generalship counts. That's half the scoring criteria. Prolific One said, Rigo. Yes, sir. Oh, my man Southern T said, right, facts OG. Rollis, something like that. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Triple G still boxes. It hasn't been for a minute, but I think he's looking to try to fight Mayorta. What is it called? Right, Rayorta, the WBA 160 pound Ray. What's that dude's name? Man, hold on a second, man. I'm killing that dude's name. I always kill his name. I'm looking. Let me see. Ray Mayorta. Ryota Murata. Yeah. Ryota Murata. Gennady Golovkin is trying to fight Ryota Murata. And according to reports, Eddie Hearn is trying to make a fight between Demetrius Andrade and Gennady Golovkin. And I definitely know that what's his name really wants that fight as too. Riley have any kind of problem with his eyes? He looks weirdo, right? Oh, he's got them bug eyes, man. Southern T Boxing said, yeah, it's called loyalty, OG. Yeah, for sure. I'm loyal to the soil with Guillermo Rigondeaux, because Guillermo Rigondeaux just got a real bad ride, man. The dude is an incredible fighter. You have an opportunity, but now watch what I'm saying though. Watch what I say, and see this doesn't come true. Now that he's 40 years old, a little dude that's 40 years old, he'll start getting fights. He'll start getting fights that he couldn't get before. Mike Rhyme, if Guillermo don't fight like that, he won't get no fights because nobody likes the sweet science. So he's got to do what he's got to do. I got him by KO. Yeah, he's got to do what he's got to do. He did that a couple times, but man, I'm telling you, he had to resort. In the second time that he did that, he had to resort to boxing, and it was funny because people were acting like his legs were gone, but he turned when he went right back to boxing, his legs are just fine because he doesn't waste a lot of energy getting around that ring. So I'm hoping that he does that all fight to this cat Casemiro and gets some belts, because if he gets the belts, he's got the belt, That's what I want to see. Yes, sir. We already know. Yeah, Murata. Ryota Murata. Ken Gray said, "We love to see Keith and Jermell. Don't Keith have even does Keith even have a chance? Yeah, Keith Thurman's got a chance against Keith Thurman. I mean against Jermell Charlo. Yes, I've heard of Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee is the Asian fighter that's friends with the friend. You talk about the guy, I've seen him fight before. He's a friend with Jaron Ennis. Yeah, I've seen Brandon Lee. He's a good young fighter. I put him over there in the lines of, what's that other kid's name? Joey Spencer. You know, up and coming fighters that are gonna, I don't think that he's gonna be a top notch. I don't think he's gonna be a top notch fighter, but I'm definitely familiar with Brandon Lee. And not just the Brandon Lee that's the son of Bruce Lee. Said he been trying to do that a minute. GGG won't buy it. What is that? You lost me on that. Yeah, I got you. See at Southern T. It's obvious, man, that Rigondeaux. Now I think Rigondeaux can win this fight. Legitimately think he can win this fight because Casemiro is not some. He ain't some world beater, dude. He's a guy with a heavy punch that fought and beat guys that are like lesser caliber than Guillermo Rigondeaux. You know what is funny though? Did you see? Speaking about Rigondeaux victims, did you notice at 126 that what's that guy Jazza Dickens fought Kid Galahad for that belt? And I was like, this is how they rehash. That's a guy that Guillermo Rigondeaux broke his jaw at 122, and that guy had to stop on the stool, and so he moves up to 126, and he's a contender for Kid Galahad to fight. I was like, as soon as I saw that matchup, I was like, dude, what is that, dude? Kind of like JoJo Diaz, how JoJo Diaz is now a contender at 135. But he got waxed by Gary Russell Jr. at 2 weight classes below that. Then they don't give these dudes credit. And by the way, as soon as Kid Galahad won that fight, they started talking about who he wanted to fight. He says, "Oh, I want to fight." Who are the other 2 guys, the other champions at that weight class? Whatever the other champions are in that weight class, they said those are the ones he wants to fight. And didn't say Gary Russell Jr.'s name. Just kind of gets old, man. You know what I mean? Rigo is also a 2-time gold medalist, and they treat him like shit. The WBA did him dirty on that Loma fight. Oh, without a doubt, man. And what they did was they wouldn't allow him. He has quit before. You talking about? I know he got knocked out before. If you're talking about Casemiro, he's been knocked out before. He got knocked out at a weight class or maybe 2 weight classes below where he's fighting out. He's already gotten knocked out. But you know how it goes. He got them Pacquiao genes. You can get knocked out at, man, matter of fact, Lord have mercy. How many weight classes Manny Pacquiao get knocked out in? Or lost in. People got some short memories when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is the only guy that with 6 losses that can get the love and adoration and still be viewed as being like invincible. Said, let's hope that woman of last week is judging this week. Oh no, why? I don't want that. No. You don't want that. Thurman stops Tank. Too much power and skill. Not a hand-picked Spanish fighter. Man, Thurman ain't going to stop. If they make that fight, that's because they know something. You know what they probably know? They probably know that Keith Thurman's hands are probably gone. If sometimes when fights get made, if they make the fight, I'm going to be like, okay, that's something that they know about him. And the problem, the big question mark for Keith Thurman is his hands, and whether or not his hand, that what he said is, matter of fact, specifically the big question mark is his left hand, and whether or not he can, I know that he can throw a straight right, but whether or not he can really commit to a jab, and whether or not he can really commit to a left hook, because he's trying to get through those fights without breaking his hand. And at least that's what he said when he was talking about the Manny Pacquiao fight. So Thomas Delamuth said that is true, Fannon. I remember Cotto's team did the same thing with Sergio Martinez. Yeah, you know something. If there's something, if they make certain fights that just sound stupid, I'm stuttering, hey man, you're leaving. Bye. I'm cold. Davion Bible. Salute, Mr. Martin. Did you see Keyshawn Davis versus Andy Cruz in the Olympic final? What's the chance Cruz goes pro? Much love in that super chat. Yeah, I probably need to put on a jacket. Oh, I didn't mean to block. I blocked you. Dang, man. My bad. Anyway, again, salute, Mr. Martin. Did you see Keyshawn Davis and Andy Cruz in the Olympic final? What's the chance Cruz goes pro? Not a lot of chance, because he's in Cuba. He would have to. It's stuttering. Yeah, man, I'm cold. Let me speak a little more quietly. I don't know. I think that Cruz is going to wind up staying in Cuba, man, and probably trying to go back there and win another title there, Olympic title. Because in order to do that, he's got to deport. He's got to basically, not deport. He's got to what do you call it? Defect. Yeah, he'd have to defect from Cuba, and I don't think that he's going to be defecting from Cuba very easily. So, I don't know. He said, yeah, it's called, sad thing is it's stuttering. Trolls can't even spell right. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Oh, he said he doesn't live in Cuba. If he doesn't live in Cuba, how's he fighting for Cuba? Migrate, yeah, immigrate. He'd have to immigrate, but I think you got to defect. Yeah, you got to defect. Where does Hurd go from here? Jared Hurd, I don't know where he goes from here, man. I think he's just a journeyman fighter. After having lost that last fight to Luis Arias, I think that he's just somebody that's in the mix. He may get another title shot, but I think if he does, he's definitely got to step it up and finish changing his style of fighting, man, because all of that time that he was fighting coming head first, as soon as he tried to box in that, I can't remember the name of the fighter that he was fighting, but it was a British fighter that he fought. As soon as he tried to change his style, all of a sudden, boom, 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 he's getting hit and he's getting outboxed. So, I just think that he needs to up his game, man. Yeah, that'll fix all of that stuff. I just need to calm down a little bit. It's kind of cold in here. What's going on to my Noop in the building, man? He said, Richard Hill. Sup, Noop? What's going on with you, man? Terry Schmoot says, true. Like Jasmine Camacho Quinn, she represents Puerto Rico but was born here in South Carolina to a black American father. Oh, okay. So if he lives here, if that's the same situation and he lives here, then yeah, he should be able to do it, Yes, sir. Yo. Dame Pierre said, Fannon, much respect. You're one of the realest. Yes, sir, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be, it ain't always the easiest. Sometimes sometimes situations when you're a little too real, just causes you some problems, but it is what it is. That sucks. J-Rock pulled out from his comeback. Oh, did he? I need to go check him out, man. I ain't talked about J-Rock in a minute, man. That sucks. I got to get back. Man, you know, some of these losses, man, in that 54-pound division is depressing, man, because they really had a really great division there, and they fought everybody. Everybody fought each other, and now, like, the deck is cleared at 154. You had Jared Hurd is now out of the mix. J-Rock is out of the mix. Tony Harrison is out of the mix. Landy Lara is out of the mix. You know, you remember that day, that fight card where, who had it? Showtime had that fight card. It was like a miniature tournament for 154 pounds. Nick Menezes, please forgive me for messing your name up. I agree, hope that surgery went well and one time is back. But if that's the case, why is Thurman talking about a Charlo fight instead of a tune-up fight? I think Manny versus Tank is a better fight. You think Manny Pacquiao versus Tank is a better? I think that is a great fight. No doubt about it. That would be Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis. That would definitely be a great fight. But if you meant that Thurman versus Tank is a better fight, man, the only way that fight is good, is if there's really something wrong with Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman should be able to beat Gervonta Davis, he just doesn't have the length. He doesn't have the body measurements really to hang with the guy, from the outside looking in, obviously. Terry Schmoot said, Hurd has a very unfortunate we crash. He is damn near a gatekeeper now. He is a gatekeeper now. There ain't no question about Jared Hurd being a gatekeeper. He ain't damn near a gatekeeper. He is a gatekeeper. You know, he had 2 belts. He actually defended 2 belts a couple times. I think he probably should have went on ahead and fought Jermell Charlo before he got clipped by J-Rock. Banana Rosario versus Hurd, man. I got Jared Hurd on that one, because all you need to do to get Rosario is to hit him with a body shot. You know what I'm saying? So that is easy, man. Copper Aborigine said, Martin, Hurd is gone fishing. Yeah, dog. I think it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap at a certain level for him. Keith James says, salute Martin, the motherfucking Don. Let's get this boxing knowledge and truth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now we talking about a plethora of issues in boxing. I love it, man. Porter needs to get at Teofimo. What? You guys come with some real crazy matchup. Shawn Porter and Teofimo Lopez. Shawn Porter will wax Teofimo, man. I don't even think I don't think that's a fair fight, dude. Teofimo is still down there at 135. If he moves all the way up to 140, that power is not going to carry up there like he thinks it is, up to 147 pounds, man. I got Shawn Porter all day on that one. I got Shawn Porter all day. Terry Schmoot said, Hurd killed his own career with going up to 190 in his offseason and trying to shrink down to 154. Too much of a weight cut. Yeah, that is a lot, man. Frequent man, what's going on, Frequent Flyer? He said, Fannon, Tank is a better finisher than Pac-Man. Maybe, so why don't you think Tank can knock out Thurman? Because I don't think he's going to get to him. Keith Thurman has got some nice wheels on him, man. Keith Thurman can box from the outside very nicely. He gets a jab, right hand, and he can get out of there and just keep jabbing and straight righting. Jab and straight right, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3 on Gervonta. That's how I see it going. And Keith Thurman has enough. He has enough power behind him to really cause him, Gervonta Davis, to have to respect that. Yeah, James Key said, "Man, please, Porter will stop him and end his career." Yeah, that's too much. I don't think so. I don't think so on for your man Teofimo that he really wants that smoke, man. That is a great fight. Canelo Alvarez versus Boo Boo, and I tell you, I got Boo Boo in that fight. I do not think Canelo Alvarez is going to catch Boo Boo. I think Boo Boo is, from that southpaw stance, has everything that Erislandy Lara had that he used to beat Canelo, and that's the exact type of fight that Canelo Alvarez doesn't want anything to do with. No way in the world is Canelo Alvarez going to fight Boo Boo Andrade, and I think it's his worst. I'm telling you, of all the people that are out there that people think can have a chance to beat Canelo, Boo Boo Andrade is the worst of the bunch for Canelo Alvarez, because that southpaw stance and the fact that he's so defensive minded and he's so accurate. Like, he has terrific Boo Boo Andrade has terrific punch placement, man. So yeah, I got that. I got Boo Boo Andrade in that fight. Now the problem is, will Boo Boo be able to get? Will he be able to get a decision over Canelo? In that case, my answer is probably not, because he's going to be in the defense. Because for the same reason that Erislandy Lara wasn't able to get the decision. Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow, and they're going to follow towards and they're going to find in favor of the cash cow. That's how I see it. Anyway. Said Hurd killed his career switching trainers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did that. What's this guy's name? Ricardo? Wasn't it like Ricardo was trainer and he switched out trainers? Yeah, it said, oh, Thurman has a suspect body too. Collazo hurt him. Manny had him spitting out his mouthpiece. Yes, he did. That ain't no lie. He did. But that may be just a result of training and him not being ready to go. Still recovering from having been off so long, because I didn't see him have those type of problems with Shawn Porter. And I could have sworn I remember Shawn Porter hitting him to the body. But, you know, maybe he does have a little bit of that Banana Rosario in him, dude. Banana Rosario. Jason Rosario just is a guy who, man, once you're exposed, you know? Getting crushed to the body like that with a jab. They, like, dude, you didn't do your sit-ups. They didn't train. That befuddles me, that people didn't work on their body like that, man. Apps also out. What's it? Also out time for David Benavidez to reclaim his belt from Canelo. Yeah, Canelo need to give him a fight just off GP, because really that's David Benavidez's belt. Should be David Benavidez's belt, but you know what the WBC did? WBC said, "Oh, well, you slipped, son, and we're going to give Canelo an opportunity to fight for it. So now your belt is gone." And he did it twice. He'd already won it twice. So, you know, absolutely. Richard Hill's right. 273 in the building. Hit the like button. Boxing's best boxing content. Please do so. Hit that like button. Said Kane the Great, said, glad to see you back, bro. You've been missed. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I've been back. I've been back doing live streams for about 3 weeks and stuff now, but back full-fledged, catching. I guess it takes a while for people to stroll on by you again. Terry Schmoot, he has a six-pack and everything, but maybe Rosario had no core strength. Plus, he is too thin. Whatever the case is, he has it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is. Whatever it is that prevents that man from being able to handle those body shots, that's a problem that he has, man. Because he got folded like hot laundry. Without a doubt. Folded, too. Frequent Flyer RC. Fannon, I think Thurman got hurt to the body by Lopez too, didn't he? Yeah, he got hurt with something. I think he did get hurt to the body, but I think he got hurt with a headshot too. But yeah, because that's what I remember when watching it. I was like, oh, Manny Pacquiao knows that he's got problems to the body, and he was gonna pick on that weakness. So for sure, he showed a lot of weakness in that fight with Josecito Lopez. Robert Galloway, do you think Canelo's a real pound for pound fighter? No, I do not. I'm not giving him credit because I think he used performance enhancing drugs. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but do you think he's a real pound for pound? No, I don't. I can't put anybody at the head of the pound for pound list when I believe that he used steroids, man. So once he tested positive for steroids, I took him out of my pound for pound list. Now, if he wasn't using steroids, would I believe that he is? Absolutely. I mean, he's got a very good resume. He fought top fighters. He's an excellent skill set. I think he's a terrific fighter. When you just look at how he handles himself in the ring, and he's a tough fight for anybody at 160, 170, or 175. 160, 168, or 175. So yeah, the only thing that keeps him off of my list for pound is the fact that he used steroids. And that's it. And he used them. So people can say what they want about that clenbuterol and it was in some hamburger that he had. I'm not buying it, man. This dude's got enough money to not have that pop back up. But what the WBC did, which was to increase, actually, I don't think that it matters because the WBC is the only one to do it. But they increased their levels of clenbuterol, the threshold for you testing positive for clenbuterol after Canelo Alvarez tested positive. So I just don't believe that in it. Can you recommend a good book about boxing? Yes, hold on one second. I'll show you one of the most fun boxing books I've read. This right here. It's too much light. Can you see that? This book right here was a ton of fun reading. A ton of fun. It goes over the championship fights in like the early, like from 1790 to like the 1860s. It's a really, really, really great fight. Really great fight book, man. It's called Boxiana. I would definitely suggest that, man. Terry Schmoot Jr., the WBC increased the allowable limit of clenbuterol. That's massive corruption. Look, man, those guys will do what they got to do to make their guy be number one because they get paid off. That's a guy that's paying their bills right now, The Bud and Triple G are number one pound for pound. Triple G, man, I haven't heard Triple G mentioned as a pound for pound number one in a minute. Like, he's not done anything. And he really hasn't fought that many fighters, man. I don't know about Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin is that is a media concoction right there. Not saying that he's not a good fighter because, he's a good fighter, but I'm just saying that, that's a bit of a media concoction right there in my book. Oh, yep. Check out Black Murderers Row. Yep, that's a good one as well. I got an Ali book over there. I've got a bunch of different. I think that they're all good books, really. If you can go just look up a bunch of different topics for boxing, because the writing on boxing books is a lot better than the writing that you get like on boxing articles. But those guys really do their research and they do a great job of getting you into the feeling of, of those times. Terry Schmoot said GGG sadly is still on most pundits' top 10 fighter, mostly in 9th or 10th position. Yeah, that's he's got to get up out of there, man. He ain't fought nobody. What's going on, Chris Brooks? He said, much love, Fannon. Hit the thumbs up. Yes, sir. Hit them thumbs up. That'd be great, man. There you go. Man, Fahim Sator said, man, fuck GGG and Bud. Hey, I can't argue. I ain't going to say fuck Bud. I am hopeful for Bud. I am hopeful. And if Bud, I'm telling you, if Bud gets over this bullshit that he's got going on right now in this very bad PR position that he's in, I'll be Team Bud again. Because I was Team Bud Crawford. But then he got into that back forth with Errol Spence Jr. and that shit just, to me, doesn't make any damn sense, man. Terry Schmoot, GGG is a Hall of Famer, though. Oh, he's going in now. You know that. You know he's going in there. He's the man to beat Canelo. That was why everyone hates Bud. Look, Bud done a lot of shit talking, Robert Galloway. He's done talked a lot of shit. Say why everyone hate Bud Crawford. He'll show y'all real soon. Look, if Bud shows, then Bud shows. So far, Bud has showed out in every fight that he's had. He's looked good in every fight that he's had. The problem is that he has been real, how do you say, lip bumpy. It's his lip bumpage. And it's funny because people used to say that Bud needed to talk more to the media. And then as soon as he started speaking up to the media, all his troubles began, dog. All his troubles began. No, I don't think anybody has a problem with Bud the fighter. It's just Bud the mouthpiece. All of that stuff about Errol Spence Jr. and how he didn't want to fight. I mean, dog, you can't fake. You can't just say that you're the superstar. You know what I'm saying? There's a little too much hater in Bud. And when the hater in Bud started to show itself, people kind of gravitated, were repelled from the Bud sphere and went off somewhere else, Bud got to fight someone real to get my respect back, man. Hey, that's how a lot of people feel, Broderick Hunter said, no hate for Bud's skills, Bud's mouth, and team is the problem. Yeah, his team is something different, ain't they? But I don't know what that is, man. Copper Aborigine said, know about GGG is a Hall of Famer. He was robbed in both fights, but he hasn't really fought since then. See, I don't agree with that, dude. I don't think that he got robbed in those fights. Do you really think that he got robbed versus Canelo Alvarez? I don't think he did. I know that there was a lot of singing about it, though. Hold on one second. Much love in that super chat, man. I believe everybody is totally underestimating his power. Bud has the right to talk trash. His perfect record speaks for itself. I appreciate that, but here's the thing. What are you talking shit about? If he wants to talk shit about being able to beat anybody, then okay, talk shit about being able to win the fight. I don't think, anybody would begrudge Terence Crawford the right to talk shit about believing he can win the fight. It's when you talk shit about things where people know you're just talking shit that there is problems. For example, his last interview that he had. When he had that last interview, and he said, it was an interview that was on ESPN, and he said that he believed that he would sell out that stadium in Dallas just like Errol Spence Jr. did provided he fought Mikey Garcia. That just doesn't make any sense, man. And that's being disrespectful of Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's like Errol Spence is the guy that lives in Dallas, Texas. Why would you people believe that Errol Spence, that nobody would come to see Errol Spence unless he fought Mikey Garcia? That's not true. He came back and he had a very full place, as full as it could be, with the guidelines, where he fought in the same place with Mikey Garcia. I mean, with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is Puerto Rican. Danny Garcia is not Mexican. So why did he do well with Danny Garcia in the same place that he did well with Mikey Garcia? And he also did well in, I think they call it in Frisco, the practice facility with Carlos Ocampo. So it just is disrespectful to Errol Spence to say that, and people that would know this information would immediately be like, come on, bud, you can't think that that's true. You just kind of hating on the man's shine, you know? And quite honestly, I've never heard Errol Spence Jr. hate on Bud. The only thing he's ever said was something about, no, it's not going to be 50-50. If anything, it's going to be 60-40. And if he keeps talking, it'll be 70-30. I can appreciate Bud being upset with that. But then to turn around and kind of sound like you're hating on, like you're just one of these guys that basically had some racist shit that people said, like he's black, he can't sell in Dallas, Texas, because he's not Mexican. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. You don't think Mexicans have the ability to fight, to watch black fighters and appreciate black fighters? Mexicans watched heavyweight fighters, watched Muhammad Ali. So why can't Mexicans watch Errol Spence Jr.? It just, that to me set wrong with me. Give me 1 second. I got this. Jeffrey Brooks in that super chat. Much love in that super chat, man. Much appreciated. Well, Bud whole things about Spence is that if Bud fought the same level of competition that Spence had, then Bud would be just as big a fighter. Well, Bud whole things about Spence is that if Bud fought the same level of competition that Spence has, then Bud would be just as big a fighter. That may be true. That may be true, but here's the thing. If ands and buts were candy and nuts, what a party we'd have. If ands and buts were candy and nuts, what a party we'd have. Dude, that's a lot of ifs. You know what I'm saying? The problem is that he didn't fight those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. It's if. Fames the tour, he hit that shit. He said it's if. Yeah, that's a lot of ifs, man. And ain't nobody, you can't feed your kids off ifs. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody eating off of if. You got people want to know what you did. And the fact of the matter is that Errol Spence did fight those guys. And why did he fight those guys? Probably because he was signed with the PBC. And Bud Crawford had the option to sign with the PBC, but he decided not to sign with the PBC. He decided to re-sign with Top Rank. Since he decided to re-sign with Top Rank, that is on him. You know what I mean? And it turned out like it turned out. So, you know what I mean? That's like shoot, you know what I mean? If I went to acting school and I looked just like, I don't know what famous actor, and I had the same roles, right? Yeah. If I looked like Will Smith, acted like Will Smith, had the same opportunities and did the same movies as Will Smith, then shit, I'd be rich like Will Smith. Well, hey man, if that ain't how it went down, you know what I'm saying? It's Will Smith's money. So, it just doesn't work, man. Chris Brooks, who Bud sell out a stadium like AT&T if it was in Omaha with the Mikey Garcia and Shawn Porter? Oh, would Bud sell out a stadium like AT&T if it was in Omaha and with a Mikey Garcia or Shawn Porter? I'm sure that he'd sell out in against whoever he fought in Omaha, Nebraska. But that's just not the big money center, and they don't want to put the fights on there. It's not as big. It's definitely not as going to be as big as the AT&T Center, and the tickets aren't going to sell for the same price as it would in Dallas. But hey, he's from Omaha, Nebraska. That's just part of the deal. Errol Spence Jr. is from Texas, from Dallas, Texas at that. So he's just from somewhere where you can sell out. He's got a better promoter and a promoter that believes in him, Fahim Satur, Fannon, that's exactly when I started saying fuck Bud. He re-signed with Top Rank all to duck the real smoke. And watch this. He's going to sign with Top Rank again. Watch. My prediction is he's going to re-sign with Top Rank again. It's not going to be, I love to think that he would go over to the PBC. When it comes down to it, Bud, more than likely, I would say 70% he re-signs with Top Rank, 30% that he becomes a free agent and goes to the PBC. But he did hire a new management company. But even there, the management company is probably going to say you should probably sign with Top Rank and get your guaranteed money, versus being out there wondering what's going to happen on your money. Marvin Canada. I think Crawford bullies Shawn. Crawford's counterpunching will keep Shawn at bay, leaving his corner calling audibles for the whole fight. Ain't bullies him? Not bullying. I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure is not fitting to happen. Okay, Terence Crawford is not gonna bully Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, it's like he may win the fight, but he is not gonna bully Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is, because I was like Porter and bully at the same time. Shawn Porter is the biggest fucking bully that there damn near is in boxing. That guy right there will elbow you. He will headbutt you. He will rabbit punch you. He will do whatever. I'm telling you, Shawn Porter is a nice guy outside the lines, outside of those rings. Shawn Porter seems to be one of the nicest guys that there are. But inside the ring, he is going to come and give you something that you're going to have to deal with for sure. I don't see it. And on top of that, Terence Crawford really isn't a bully, man. He's an outboxer that catches you and then comes on inside for you. He's not somebody that's going to come in on the inside and bully you like that, man. He fights more on the outside. Oh, he said, hold on. Copper Aborigines said that area sells out in Omaha, but does it sell out with Porter in Vegas? Does it sell out in Porter in Vegas? Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely, dude. This is his first big fight. This is the first big fight that Terence Crawford has really had in his career. I'm telling you, this is the first big fight, because Shawn Porter, although he lost to Errol Spence Jr., it was not a bad loss to Errol. He represented himself well. He showed that he was in the mix, and it wasn't a bad loss. Shawn Porter is still considered a top contender. He's not a gatekeeper. He's a top contender for the belts, because even if, like, the guys that hold the belts, Yordanis Ugas, Shawn Porter and Yordanis Ugas. I mean, who knows who wins that fight? Errol Spence and Shawn Porter, you saw how good of a fight that was, and that was before the car accident. We'll see, and we'll see what happens, man. Oh, he said that's a bad business move. Look, if you're talking about going to Top Rank or not, it is. This is what it is. It is risk averse. Risk adverse. Like, if you know that you can make $4 million a fight and you are going to get 5 fights, right? For $4 million, you know it, right? There's no scenario in which they're not going to give you those fights. That's $20 million that you know you're going to get as long as you fight those fights. If you leave and you get a fight by fight basis thing, you don't know what's going to happen necessarily with how much they're going to pay, what you're going to be able to negotiate, even though you could probably negotiate at the same time and figure out what your options are. But if you lose one, you may not get the second. You know what I mean? So you got to be cognizant of that. You know, it's kind of like what they say about a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. He very well may figure that a bird in the hand is 4 birds in the hand is 1 bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. So, you know that you're going to get this from Top Rank. You know what they're going to pay. You don't have any real disruption to your life, and you just go on all the way through and you get out a rich man. You know, that is a mindset that certain people have. Other people may be like, nah, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm trying to find this really big deal, and I'm going to get the most that the market has to offer me right now, and I'm willing to take the chance that it doesn't pan out, you know? So, I mean, I guess that would also depend on what Terence Crawford's finances are like. Like, if he's set, then he'd be maybe more willing to take the chance. If he's not personally set, right, and feel like he's comfortable for the rest of his life and he has all that set, then he may not be willing to take the chance. I think a lot of that stuff comes into play when you're talking about what a good business decision is. Because some people don't like risk. You know what I'm saying? And there's risk in fighting bigger fighters and better fighters, right? Because you can get hurt and you can lose. So as you see, Bud got through his contract that he had all the way through it, where if he had not taken that contract, he could feel like, man, I could be running out of fights already. Who knows? It was in the mentality of Bud in that regard. But I will give Bud this much credit. It's very hard to call making $4 million a fight a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to be Floyd Mayweather Jr., or like Errol Spence. Like, he's not making the money Errol Spence Jr. that Errol Spence Jr. made by going with Al Heyman, right? So there's those type of considerations. Just to be fair to Bud. So you Bud fans, you remember, Fannon was fair when they came to talking about Bud and that money. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Bud ain't fighting Porter. He's fighting Porter, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. Oh, Gregory X in the building said, man, smash that like button and tweak the algorithms. Yes, sir, man. Hit that like button. We got 300 people in the building. We got 156 likes, man. Let's get the likes up, man. Marvin Canada. Terence never sells his fights. I mean, I understand where he's coming from by saying he isn't the promoter, but he can at least do some to better his sales and popularity. Look, I don't know what that guy could do in those fights to sell them horseshit fights, man. Seriously. Those are just not good fights that he's fighting in, you know? Much love in that super chat, my man, Jeffrey Brooks. He said, I just hope that Bud doesn't fall into Bob's trap just because he's getting this Porter fight. He's only getting it because his Top Rank contract is almost over. Man, I want to see him go to the PBC so I can see him in a bunch of good fights. Because when you get losses in the PBC, you still get more fights, as you can see with Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter lost. He's been with the PBC and he's continually got good fights. So, but I feel you, man, because Bob Arum is definitely about that bullshit. Benjamin Newsom said, "You're the man, big bro." Thank you, man. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much, man. Man, my man Santos in the building. I'm just gonna give my man Santos a go. What's going on? What's going on, Santos? Said, Fannon, what else is out there if Porter Bud, if this fails? Oh, for Porter Bud, if this fails. I feel Porter is a gatekeeper, so either Ennis, Virgil, Mikey, or moves to 154. For Bud, he needs this, or maybe Bob gives him Virgil. I think that Porter could probably get another championship shot at one of the guys with the belts. I think that'll happen for him. So say when Errol Spence Jr. beats Manny Pacquiao and your Danny's Ugas and all that stuff's settled, Shawn Porter's going to be there to get a shot. He's going to get a shot at one of the vacant belts. I don't think Porter's going to have a problem, man, with that. As far as Bud goes, Bud is going to go to fight Josh Taylor in Scotland. That's the plan. That's the plan for Bud is Josh Taylor in Scotland, because Josh Taylor is going to move up. He's going to leave that 140-pound weight. He's already too big. He's been too big for that weight class. And he said that he wanted to fight Terence Crawford in Scotland. Bob Arum also said that he wanted Josh Taylor to fight Terence Crawford in Scotland. So after this fight, the next fight would be to take the belt, the WBO belt, to Scotland and put it on the line against Josh Taylor, which I'm telling you, if he goes to Scotland to fight Josh Taylor, do not think that belt is coming back, dude. That's Bob Arum's golden boy right there. Do not think that belt is coming back. Championship rounds. You think Bob risks giving control of the WBO strap to the PBC? Oh, I don't think he'd give control of that strap. Bob has, from what I can see, Bob has control over the WBO, period. So I don't think they would mind having him get a shot at one of those belts, because he had an opportunity to make some money, off one of those belts. Don't worry, the belt's going to get back. Don't worry, the belt is going to get back to Top Rank. They got a leash on that. Just whoop, snatch that sucker right on back. Terry Schmoo said Bob Arum is going to try to job Bud out of the WBO belt. That belt will stay overseas. That's what I think. You and I see things very similar, Terry Schmoot. I see that belt staying over there in fine Scotland, where they can sell a bunch of tickets over there for Josh Taylor. And then Josh Taylor to talk about fighting one of the other PBC champions, and the fight never happens. Maurice Hunter. Crawford just don't have what it takes to. Ennis is next and wants Bud having to stop taking these easy matches and go out with a bang. It's time to let it go and let it Earl. I'm not sure. I can't make and let it Earl. Crawford just don't have what it takes. Let me get back to that, man. My man Nick Menendez said, "Who wins, Bud Boo Boo at 154? What? Or Canelo Bud?" Much love in that super chat. Well, Boo Boo will beat the piss. Boo Boo, you got shit all switched up. It should be Boo Boo versus Boo Boo will beat Bud at 168. They can't fight. He can't fight at 154 because he's at 160. Oh, in a mix. Oh, Boo Boo's gonna beat Bud. And Canelo or Bud? Canelo beats Bud. Canelo's too big for Bud. Said Nick on here clowning. Yeah. Hey man, you know. Terry Schmoot said no one want to fight Boots. That is too dangerous of a fight. Why you think he has a hard time finding opponents? Well, it's young. Let's not put that on him yet, Terry Schmoot. Let's not put it on him too early. But because he know why he's not getting, because you're just signing up for a loss. Those dudes are signing up for losses. But I heard he'll be back in September. I'm looking forward to somebody telling me when he's fighting again. Boo Boo will beat the brakes off Bud. Yeah, that's just a way too big, man. I can't see that, dude. The Bud's in his 40s. 40. Man, you guys be writing messages that I don't understand, dog. I like to get to everybody that I see at least one time in the comment section. But, you know, certain other people a whole bunch more than one time. But I don't be understanding what you're saying, dog. Don't put it on him yet, dog. Don't put that on Bud yet, on Boots yet. Man, I didn't hear he's having a hard time finding an opponent. There's got to be somebody out there willing to make some money. You know, he can rematch Chris Van Heerden, dog. As far as you're concerned, Mickey Mouse will probably beat Bud also. Michael Anderson. I was asked about two guys that are, one guy is 3 weight classes above Bud right now in Canelo. And another one is Boo Boo Andrade, who is probably about to be 3 weight classes bigger than Bud. There are weight classes, man. Can I ask you a question? Who do I think will win? Bud, let me help you out in case you think I'm a Bud hater. Who do I think will win? Bud Crawford or Vasily Lomachenko? I'll take Bud Crawford. Who do I think will win? Bud Crawford or Gervonta Tank Davis? I'll take Bud. Who do I think will win? Gary Russell Jr. or Bud? I'll take Bud. Who do I think will win? You want me to tell you more? Guillermo Rigondeaux or Bud? Bud. Monster Inoue or Bud? Bud. There you go. You see? Josh Taylor or Bud? Bud. But if you ask me, who do I think is going to win? Bud or Deontay Wilder? I'm taking Deontay Wilder. If you ask me who's going to win, Bud or Tyson Fury, I'm going to take Tyson Fury. It's called weight classes, man. Nelson, you'll have a wrench right now. All righty. There you go. You mean? There you go. You got it back. I'm not giving Bud and Mikey. Who would I get between Bud and Mikey? Bud over Mikey Garcia? Bud over Mikey Garcia. Steve Taylor, you got a wrench. All right, man. You got your wrench, man. Please be responsible. Who wins, Deontay or Monster Inoue? Oh, I think maybe, I don't know. It's a close fight. Deontay doesn't have the skills to keep up with Monster Inoue. Monster Inoue has that devastating knockout. You know, he's got better footwork. He's got better hand speed, you know, and Deontay Wilder's only a one punch guy. So I'll take Monster Inoue, man. That said, Martin's ringtone sounds like The Temptation. Yeah, I need to change it. It's irritating to me. No joke. He said, Roberto Jamarillo said, hey, Martin, take it easy on that man. Great channel. Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I just get tired of I'm not somebody that is illogical, okay? I'm not doing stuff strictly off of feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's not how I'm doing it. I'm calling it like I really see it. He said, Leo J said he wears Wilder's knees out. Jeffrey Book said, well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves with Bud versus Spence because Manny and Shawn has a damn good chance of pulling it off. Much love in that super chant. Much love in that super chant. Yeah, they got a chance. I mean, Shawn got a better chance than Manny. I'm just hoping, honestly, because, you know, it is tough for me to like write off Manny Pacquiao. But I think Errol Spence Jr.'s pressure is going to get him. Sadly, the media, Terry Schmoot in the building, says, sadly, the media would actually say what you said, Fannon. The biased American media we have that don't support our own homegrown products. Man, absolutely they would do that. Whole bunch of people would say, yeah, well, who Monster Inoue versus, they don't ever believe or have faith in American in the black American. And honestly, in the people and if you're working for one, which Caleb Plant works with one, so Caleb Plant gets that honorary get shafted job. Raleigh Romero pops the most shit. Easy. Because look, first of all, when you're saying who pops the most shit, gotta think. Bud ain't popping too much shit about what's going on in the boxing ring. He pops a little shit now and again. You know what I mean? As it relates to Errol Spence Jr., pops a little shit. Moderate shit popping, but when he pops shit, he pops major shit. Raleigh Romero just talks dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just insulting, just childish, dumb shit. Raleigh Romero, I don't even be doing Raleigh Romero videos because I have to stomach what Raleigh Romero says. And I'll be like, Raleigh Romero talks, and I just kind of like immediately go, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. And I don't even want to look to it. There could be honestly good, fun conversations to be had around Raleigh Romero, but I still just get so revolted by it that I just kind of skip. I like, man, I'm going to skip this subject. Seriously, man. Loma Haney, who you think is winning? Haney in a tough fight because of his defense. That's an odd fight to see. Like, that's odd. But I would take Devin Haney. He's big. He's fresh. He's very difficult to hit. I don't think that Lomachenko is going to be able to tee off on him like that. It'll be a defensive fight, and I don't think that Devin really has a lot to worry with, like, one punch power. So I think it's a toss 'em up between Lomachenko and Haney, similar to the way that I think it's a toss up between Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez for their next fight, and Teofimo Lopez Haney. I think there's a lot of parity down there at 135. Maurice Hunter said, Canelo versus Benavidez. I'm going Benavidez. That boy is good. Yeah, I go Benavidez over Canelo too. Hand speed is a huge thing. That boy's hand speed is bananas. And if he uses the jab, and Canelo ain't slipping them shots, dog. His hand speed, David Benavidez got some of the fastest hands in boxing, man. Like unreal hand speed on David Benavidez. Now he does kind of plod coming forward, but I think his foot speed doesn't match his hand speed. But I don't think that that's going to be much of a problem with Canelo Alvarez, who also doesn't have tremendous foot speed. But I would take David Benavidez. I take David Benavidez as the best at 168. Loma Haney's a 50-50. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, I mean 50-50, but you asked me who I got, so I picked somebody. Fannon, do you think sanctioning bodies can step up like the WBO and make these fights? I know WBO and Bob are tight, but the WBO asking for Bud Porter shows me that they're not bound to Bob. Well, you're making an assumption there, Santos, that doesn't work in the favor of Bob Arum. I think that WBO ordering that fight works perfectly well for Bob Arum, because this is the last fight on the last fight on the contract for Terence Crawford, and having them had basically already a pre-negotiated deal done by the WBO seems like it suits them. Robert Jeremiah said, "Who do you think beats David Benavidez right now, Fannon? Maybe somebody at 175, but I don't think anybody beats him. I think the best chance for it is probably Jermall Charlo, but because of the style, because Jamal's got that nice long jab, and straight right hand, and he's got power to keep David Benavidez off of him. But I don't see anybody that's currently at 168 beating him. Maybe if Bubu Andrade moves up to fight him, but I mean, I'd have to look at David Benavidez again. I mean, because I haven't seen him fight in a while, but nah, man, that dude looks really, really. Dude, I'm surprised that you had. I'm not surprised that you had that many views. You do good work on this channel. Thank you, Andrew Gray. Appreciate you. Must be a little bit behind in the chat, but thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. We do work over here and try to do the best that we can. Let me get a few more comments. It's a lot of fun talking to you every morning. Sear the Ruler said, and do you think Charlo will fight Benavidez if he dropped down to 160, or do you think Charlo will duck him? I don't know, man. I think I don't think he would fight him. I don't think he would fight, but will he duck him? He's got to get him in position to be 100. He's got to fight at 168. I don't think David Benavidez is going to be able to make 168, man. That doesn't seem like that's a realistic place for David Benavidez to be. I think David Benavidez at 168, and if anything, David Benavidez can move to 175 to see if he can get a shot at Artur Beterbiev. That's where I would think he would go. But nah, I don't see the fight between Charlo and Benavidez taking place at 160. I think that if it's a fight that's ordered when Charlo moves to 168, then I think that might take place. If it was like an eliminator, to get a shot at Canelo, but you know what'll happen with that thing anyway, man. Terry Schmoo said the only one beating Boots by split decision or unanimous decision is Spence. Look, man, I don't think anybody wants that smoke, dude, with Jaron Ennis. Do you think Edward Berlanga will eventually become a problem at 168? Yeah. Edward Berlanga is a good fighter. Absolutely. I think he's a good fighter, and he's a young fighter, and I hope that they're bringing him on kind of slowly. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm a fan of Edward Berlanga. Yeah, he's only 24. His knockout streak ended, but yeah, he's still fighting 8-round fights, man. So they're bringing him along slow, but I think he can be a good fighter. Wow, this is a tough. Gary Antoine Russell versus Jerron Ennis. Who y'all like at 140? I'll take Gary Russell, and I'm not picking. I got to see more of Gary Russell. I'm going to put it this way. What I saw of Gary Russell, Antoine Russell matches up with anybody well. So if Jerron Ennis wins that fight, Jerron Ennis is going to be in for a fight against Gary Antoine Russell, because Gary Antoine Russell is a very, very smart fighter, man. I got to see more Gary Antoine Russell. I'm holding off on saying that anybody's beating Gary Antoine Russell until I see more Gary Antoine Russell. You know, I just got to see that. I just got to see a little more of that, man. You know what I mean? King Los. Berlanga got to be on Bud Porter undercard to get his name out there. Yeah, he's with Top Rank too, isn't he? Kendall Cody, Berlanga, spelling, I got you. It's B-E-R. Yeah, you spelled it right. You spelled it. Does have the power to get anyone at 168, young or not. Yeah, but it's his skills that he's got to make sure that he's got all the way together. Yeah, because you're not going to knock this. Those knockouts go away, dude. You know what I mean? Those knockouts go away. Man, Nick Menendez. Much love in that super chat, man. He said, I like Bivol over anybody else to beat Canelo besides Boo Boo. Who wins out of a tournament of Bivol, Canelo, Boo Boo, Charlo, GGG, and John Pascal? John Pascal is a juicer. He's out of there. Canelo's a juicer. He's out of there. Bivol, on the real though, who you match up? Okay, Bivol and Canelo. I'll give it Canelo. Boo Boo, Charlo. I'll give it Charlo. GGG. Pascal, I'll give it Pascal. I'm going with Charlo out of that. Are you clowning? No. Charlo or Boo Boo? One or the other. Say, yeah, he beat Boots in the amateurs. Yeah, I know he beat Boots in the amateur, but I'm not taking amateurs. But the fact that he looks so damn sharp in the pros, man, that ain't no joke. They got another good... I'm telling you, they got another good lot of boxers coming up from the PBC again. He said 3 different steroids in his system. Man, it's like, man, I know Sir Marcus Brown is hot. But like you couldn't tell that dude was on juice, man. Maurice Hunter. Spence is the only one I think that would give Boots the blues. We'll see, man. Somebody said that Boots has a problem with fast fighters. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how many fighters are that fast. But those guys are just some young fighters that are on their way up that are going to be the next group of terrific fighters. And I'm looking forward to them, man. Bivol and Bud, I'll take. In order not to be a hater, I'm going to say Bud over Bivol. Because I don't want to be called a hater anymore. You have suppressed my opinions enough to get me, shamed me enough that I will not give my true opinion anymore. And I will say Bud beats Bivol. In real life, though, I take Bivol. I'm sorry, I'm going with the weight class. I'm going with the weight classes, dog. You're not gonna have a guy that is a blown up 140 pound fighter fighting at 175. It's amazing, though, how many people really don't know weight classes, though. He said, nope, don't do it for none. Bibble will destroy Bud. I mean, I know that. But, I want to be liked. I want to be liked. I want people to compliment me and say that I'm a good guy. Hold on one second. Hey, I'm still on this live stream. I'll call you back in like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
All right, no worries. Sorry about that. Thank you to questions. Y'all slacking on the questions today. Prime Bud versus a prime Emmanuel Augustus. Dog, I take Bud in one of the funniest fights that could possibly be made, dog. It is real hard to make somebody laugh in boxing. You know what I mean? Like in a real fight, to be laughing in a real fight. But Emmanuel Augustus, I swear I love Emmanuel Augustus. I love my man, rest in peace, Johnny Tapia. Them dudes were so funny, dude. The way that they would fight, they would change rhythms, all that stuff. They're just hilarious to me. But I have to give Bud, as a bigger fighter, the advantage over the 130 pound Emmanuel Augustus with 12 losses. However, not many of those were actual losses. But that dude right there, one of my favorite fighters ever. And so please don't have anybody say, if somebody gets one loss, their career is over. Man, that's ridiculous. You must not have seen the great Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master. Said Terry Schmoot, we got to truly respect Emmanuel Augustus. He had a tricky way of fighting. He's remembered. Man, that dude was one of the most talented boxers that I have seen, dude. Just amazing reflexes. His sense of rhythm was just amazing. He would take some shots now, but man, he was just a different type of fighter, dude. I agree. Put that man in the Hall of Fame. But look, I got to get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. I do appreciate you guys. Make sure that you guys come back tomorrow and bring your questions tomorrow. Don't be lunching today. We're trying to make this as interactive as we can make it. That would just, man, Emmanuel Augustus should have had Bob Arum as somebody that believed in him. Oh, Prince Nassim, Emmanuel Augustus, if it were possible. Give me Emmanuel Augustus. If they didn't rob him, if Emmanuel Augustus came to win the fight, for real came to win the fight and the refs were fair, give me Emmanuel Augustus all day over Prince Nassim. Give him to me all day. Because Kevin Kelly almost beat Prince Nassim, so I ain't trying to hear it, But anyway, I'm out of here. Catch y'all tomorrow morning. Peace.